This is a shame. You got black cops now. They ain't even the white guys. It's the black cops now. But they've been doing it. They've been doing it. I've heard people tell me how things happened to them when they went to jail, where black correction officers would beat them. You know, it's a shame. There's something about that authority that changes people, black or white. You know, rich or poor, it doesn't matter. It infects these people and corrupts them, and it gives them this power complex where they feel like they can treat maybe not anybody any kind of way, but people who may not have much or people who just are darker complected. They just feel like they can treat them any kind of a way for some reason. I don't know why. This is just like a natural reaction to once somebody gets a badge, now it's time to treat black people like they're less than human or less than how white people should be treated. So I don't understand that, but it is what it is right now. But as a nation, we've got to do better. And we've got to do better. And we've got to do better. And we've got to do better.
To us here, Demetrius Haley was reprimanded after a suspect he helped detain suffered a dislocated shoulder. Desmond Mills Jr. was reprimanded for not documenting that he used physical force during an arrest, but that was sustained after a hearing. What do you make of this now in the context of what has happened with Tyre? Do you think that these charges and these violations actually should have been taken more seriously?
Absolutely. I think it's a situation where the police department has essentially been neglectful, dereliction of duty to supervise and oversee any officers related to this particular incident. But also, I think the council has to take a more active role in reviewing body cam footage. That's why I'm proposing at the next council meeting an ordinance so that the Memphis City Council will have the authority and to receive body cam footage whenever there is an allegation of excessive force. We will take a look at that body cam footage and make an independent review of it ourselves, and ultimately put pressure on the Memphis Police Department to bring about change.
Let me ask you about the discrepancy that we have seen now from the initial police report and the videos subsequently that have been released. What questions does that raise in your mind, not only about that initial report, but perhaps other instances in the past that maybe now needed to be revisited?
Well, for me, I think it calls into question almost every report we've seen in quite some time, whether every report has been doctored to fit some narrative that essentially is untrue. I do believe in this case, if there wasn't not a sky cop cam, I don't believe we would be here. Because if you pay particular attention to the Tyre Nichols body cam footage, the officers were covering their cameras, turning their cameras off, essentially never cutting their cameras on. But without that sky cop cam, we will be having a different conversation. We will probably be accepting the police narrative as true. So I think we have to do a better job of watching the watchers, so to speak.
I want to finally ask you about Police Chief Davis, who received a lot of praise about how she handled the early days of this crisis and being transparent about not only firing these officers, but also in her description of what she saw on those tapes. That having been said, do you think that she still now should hold the position? Does she have the support of the public? Does she have the support of the council to continue to be police chief there of the city?
I believe it's changing every single day. What I tell people is this: if we watch the videos that Chief Davis, when she speaks on the incident, I think she's done a better job than any other police chief when it comes to just, you can sense the sincerity in her voice. But when it comes to where we are now, I think she has a very direct duty to make culture changing decisions. The clock is ticking.